PTFB. Pillow talking fuckboy. I refuse to have any type of man around me of that magnitude at all. Young Thug is a perfect example of a pillow talking fuckboy. I ain't never been a fan of dude. I can't even say I'm a fan of dude. I don't like his style. I don't hate the guy. He kind of like a Son Campbell. Like, I don't really like listening to anybody that cries and complains all the goddamn time and sound like they crying when they talk. That's Son Campbell. I don't have any problem with him. Just don't fuck with him. And I don't fuck with Young Thug. I don't like him. But these phone calls where you talking about Kendrick, Lil Durk, all these people, you do it in an interrogation room. You talking a little too much. Listen, I'm not a street dude. I don't want to get into all that. But let me say this though. See, I was in academics, just watching him just a few minutes ago, and he's talking about this particular phone call where he's talking about Kendrick. In this particular phone call, he's requesting a feature. But you know what no one's talking about? No one's talking about the fact that if we go back to his initial idea about trying to outdo Gunna, because this album was supposed to outdo Gunna, he wants to put an album out on the same day as Gunna at the time, okay? He wants to get as many features as he can. That's why he asked 21 for a feature. He asked Lil Durk for a feature. He asked Kendrick for a feature. He already said Drake would do the song, or do a song with him. So he was trying to get as many names as he can to outdo Gunna on the same day. Nobody remembers this. Like, are we paying attention to what he's talking about? Pay attention to what he said in the beginning when these calls first came out. He had an agenda, and he wanted to fulfill that agenda. He did not accomplish that. But we're learning that this is his old agenda. That's why he was angry that Kendrick didn't do a song with him. He was angry that, and then first of all, at the time of the phone call, we're requesting to get Kendrick to do a song. You and your manager are trying to get Kendrick to do a song. There was no definite no when you started doing all that hating shit in the phone call. You never got a no. That's why at the end of the call, toward the end, you stated, well, if he do a song, cool. If he don't do it, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. And I'm kind of paraphrasing what he said, but it had something of those words. But the rest of the things, doing all this extra talking, who knows what else is about to come out about what he said. But here's the problem. See, I was in the chat room, and one of the things that academics stated, he said that Kendrick is the only one winning on the West Coast. And somebody dropped names like G Perico, Jay Worthy, Larry June, and then as soon as they said Larry June, he never heard of G Perico. He never heard of Larry June. Somebody in the chat room actually said Larry June. They thought that was Midwest. Bro, these people don't listen to hip-hop around the country. They probably are stuck in one region, and they don't know that, there's some real dope artists in California. There's some dope artists in the West Coast, in the South, Midwest, and the East. It's strange that somebody in the chat room said that Larry June's from the Midwest. That explains your fan base. That explains your fan base. But you know what most important about you is that you do all this gossiping and all this bullshit, and you're supposed to lead the media in hip-hop, and you don't even know who Larry June is. And Larry June and 2 Chainz has one of the best albums that came out this year. You don't even know who he is. So I know you never heard that album. You have no idea who he is. This is what's wrong with hip-hop. Academics can use his voice to talk about Larry June and 2 Chainz album that came out a long time ago in February, whatever. It was around my son's birthday. Long time ago. Earlier this year. That tells you everything you need to know about Ack. And I'm not surprised by this. This is like one of the numerous things that we see from academics. He don't even know who Jay Worthy is. Don't know who Larry June is. Because all he said was Kendrick. He even had the nerve to say, I don't really count Tyler. You know, Tyler ain't really just, he ain't that. Tyler don't rap? Are you saying Tyler's not a rapper? Tyler don't count? This is what's wrong with hip-hop. Of course, the labels. But then you got these voices, these fucking talking heads. They don't help it. They don't make it no better. You sit up, you waste your time talking about drama. That's what you promote drama before you promote music. I ain't never seen academics talk about Griselda. I ain't never seen academics talk about 38 Special or Shade Noir or Rhapsody. Hell, I ain't never seen them talk about nobody of importance. Of course he ain't gonna talk about Freddie, because you don't like Freddie. So you got this agenda where, oh, if a rapper I don't like, I'm not gonna cover his album. You don't talk about that either. You have no idea. You don't mention another pillow talking fuckboy. That's who Ack is. Ack is a pillow talking fuckboy with tendencies to talk about having sex with minors. And not just minors, boys. I'm probably gonna get flagged. I should have said that a different way. Anyway, pillow talking fuckboys are amongst us, and everybody knows a bunch of these niggas. These niggas sit up and they get on the phone. The sad part about a pillow talking fuckboy is when they talk to a grown man. Pillow talking. That's the saddest part. Which, I think Young Thug is gay anyway. I don't really care if he is. I don't give a fuck. But we should have knew then when he had the dress on. He'll do anything to he'll do anything to become famous. He'll do anything to get rich. One thing about these niggas, man, let me explain something to you. One thing about these niggas, man, is they sit up and they try to talk about niggas behind their back. And then when it's time to face the camera, when it was time to ask you about what Kendrick Lamar said in the record, in the Not Like Us record, he was like, I'm a fan of Drake. All that shit in that phone call when you was in jail, you didn't say that shit when you was out in public. And that means you a bitch. That means you a coward. But I'm not surprised. The shit even happened to me on YouTube. You got these niggas that will sit back, yeah, man, I fuck with you, woo, 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 and then get on the phone with a bitch. Man, that make channel whack, blah, 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 blah. You know, all this old pillow talking bullshit, man. You can tell these niggas ain't been raised by no men, no OGs, no men of principle, no men of honor, none of that. You could tell that a lot of you niggas raised by bitches. Y'all ain't raised by women, y'all raised by bitches. A lot of y'all acted just like Young Thug. For real. It's like weird to me, man. God, man, I'm gonna end this video with this. I feel good knowing that my son is adult now and he's in college. He's a DJ. He's connected to Drummer Boy and the Drum Squad. He's a Drum Squad DJ, and I like the fact that every single person that he encounters and engages with that knows me ain't gonna never say nothing bad about me. I even asked him that. I said, don't it feel good to know your dad ain't looked at as a whole ass nigga? Aren't you glad that people respect your father? I feel good about that. Because I ain't never been no bitch. Yeah, I lost a couple of fights, but hell, I won way more fights than I lost. I could have been better, but ain't shit fucked up about me. That's a fact. I feel good about that. Anyway, my son ain't no pillow talking fuck boy. I tell you that goddamn much. I'm gone.